All right, Lucas, Isaac, Parker. This is guide video 28. So story car 28. There's 29 and 30 yet. So we'll do three more of these story cars, and then I'll do one more guide behind that with some tips, tricks, and general thoughts about how you would take this game further. Um, but let's go ahead and get into this one. This is a cool car. This is a 2013 Salem Spectre SR. It's a Mustang, and I love this Mustang. I think it's cool as hell. Anywho, hey, I'm stopping by with an unconventional job. I found this car on an auction. It's new, and at first glance, you can wonder what could be wrong with a vehicle like this. The problem is that it was a, quote, donor car. New, just bought, without an engine. Thanks to this, I could purchase it for a fraction of the price of a new one, but without an engine. I tried to get a complete drive unit somewhere, but it seems that specific model is highly desirable. And that's how I found myself at your door. Please rebuild the heart of my new acquisition. I know it's tedious work, but in this case, it's profitable. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Repair or replace body parts, change the oil, spray it the factory color, and there'll be other tasks. So it sounds like this is a complete start of an engine, which is awesome because it's a V8 dual overhead cam supercharged engine, which I love using in a lot of cars. So let's take this story order. And the guy's right. There is absolutely zero drivetrain on this car. So we get a fresh start, which is awesome. So let's check the order. Alternator, belt tensioner, camshaft, drive. I mean, yeah, it's just they're telling you. We just need it all, right? That's awesome. So we got some stuff. Replace that, change the oil, spray it the factory paint, and a headlight alignment. All right, so we really just basically just have to build this car from the ground up. So he wants a V8 dual overhead cam supercharged engine. So first thing I would do, and this would be similar to getting a car from the junkyard or someplace else where you're going to start fresh on a new build. I would go to assemble first and go to X, 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 X. That way we could add the body panels that we're missing. I should check just to make sure he didn't want the B panels, because this does have B panels. Nope, he didn't say anything about that. Okay, good. We'll get a hood, headlights, and a bumper. And then we'll also put a license plate on. And for me, just like within previous guides, when I buy a plate, I just go straight to plates, scroll, scroll all the way to the bottom. Excuse me. Little frog there. And grab a Wyoming plate because I like the Wyoming plate. There we go. There we go. So if we go here, you can see we have the body done. We don't really have to change the oil because it has no oil. So we're not draining oil at all. So honestly, what we could do first, go to normal mode. Let's move it to paint, or the car wash, because you got to wash it before you can paint it. Put a wash on. Just getting these menial tasks done. Let's go ahead and detail the interior for him. I mean, we're doing a full rebuild on this guy. Why not, right? There we go. And let's move it to the test path. We'll just align the lights real quick. That doesn't take terribly long. I remember, if you want your mechanic to run fast, just hold shift down. I do it with my left finger. There we go. Lights are aligned. Escape. And we'll move this to the paint shop. And just pop in here. Paint. Factory color is white. Just paint it. So it's bodied, painted, aligned. Now we just need a trans and an engine. Let's move it back to lifter 1. And I'll just pop it up a little. Now to make a new engine from scratch, what you do first, you go over to your engine mount, click on the back of the engine mount, go to the top bar, which is create new engine. Typically we're always having install engine on the stand, so it's an engine you pulled from a motor, or a motor you pulled from a car, and you're dumping it on the engine rack to work on it. Now we're going to start with create new engine. Now which engine do you need? It's the V8 dual overhead cam supercharged engine. There's all the engines in the game here. So there are some cars that you'll purchase that you can swap an engine out. So sometimes you might use this feature because it may start with a 1-carb engine. You want the supercharged, you don't, whatever. So this is the engine. So pop in here, just buy it. So you go over here, go to part mount. So first things we got to buy is the block. So we'll start off, we'll just go to the engine store. I made a list, block, boom, bought it. And we're just going to buy the parts as we go here. Crank. Now there's parts list available on the wiki and various other places, so you can make up a parts list if you want. Now pistons, as you remember, we bought a pile of pistons in our last build, so we already have pistons. And again, like I said, these are parts that are used in lots of engines, lots of motors, so boom, here we go. And I think we already have rod caps too. Boom. So we're starting a new engine and we already had parts to go. And like most mechanic shops, and you don't go to a Ford dealer and they have to go online to Amazon and buy all the parts. They have a parts department where they have their parts available. So they go to their parts manager and say, hey, I need an oil filter for an F-150, and boom, there it is. They have it in the shop. So you're a mechanic, you're going to have parts in your shop. And you can buy the warehouse and you could store it in your warehouse and have to go get it. I just keep it on the mechanic. There's no limit on how much you can keep on your mechanic, so why not keep a pile of parts? That way you could start a build like this, and you already had the pistons, you already had the rod caps and the crankshaft bearings. You were good to go. I'll just buy a dozen. We got extras. Oh, duh. Alternator's not here, it's over at the electronics shop. Now we could put performance parts on this car. If this was a car I was keeping for myself, these would all be performance parts. And I would take the effort of getting the extra scrap to make them 3-star performance parts. If you saw the performance series, you know what I'm talking about. Gearbox, clutch plate, clutch pressure plate, flywheel, clutch release bearing. We already have a bunch. We'll need a drive shaft, so I bought one. There we go. We already got a lot of this done. Let's get the heads. I think the heads on this, as I recall, are, yep, they're the same. Some engines will have like engine head A, engine head B, because they're different from one side to the other. So be cautious as you add heads to your parts list that you don't do something like that. I've done that before and it really is irritating. Camshaft, okay, so we need 4 of these. Four cam gears. And just as you go, you just get the parts you need, slowly build the engine up. Okay, now we need some plugs. get this side done. Just got to kind of get the angle on the head right so that it's not too bright. Cam gear. Timing belt, there's 2 of these. I've built this engine a few times. This is an engine actually I would have spare parts of this engine because I like using this engine on a lot of things. Oops, did I hit something? Why am I lock clicked? That is weird. I don't know what I had to click there. Click something. Start mount. Alright, get the timing cover on. And again, you see how these idler rollers come in handy? Crankshaft pulleys. They're used on so many builds that as you start a new build, it's really convenient to just have those right off the bat. And these one-off parts like a water pump or timing cover, it's fine to pop in and buy those. But again, if it's an engine that you like using in a lot of different cars, like this engine, I would have extra timing belts and various other parts of this car because I'm going to use it multiple times because I really like this engine. I see here there's a timing cover B. There's also an A. Bought the A. So if you just bought 2 of those thinking, hey, I just need 2 engine covers, you would have bought 2 of the B's and not had the one you need on the other side. Ignition coils, which are over at, hey, we leveled up at the parts store, or the electronics store. Buy 8 of those. And then there's these ignition coil covers. There we go. Pop these covers on. Ignition coils. These on. Alright, I'll get the exhaust manifold on. Supercharger. Filter. Actually, if I just type in supercharger, you could see that I need the supercharger V8, supercharger serpentine belt V8. I think those all we'll need. I buy the wrong supercharger? Thought I didn't. Maybe I did. Alright, drop that off. another pulley. There we go. Then we need a throttle. And then some fuel rails, 2. There we go. That engine is done and assembled. So then, just like before, you would just take it off the stand, hop over here, grab your cherry picker, and install engine. Well, install engine. I don't know what parts. I did buy the wrong supercharger. That's stupid. Oh well. Alright, so the engine's in. Let's put some oil in her. Oil's in. We'll pop it up in the air. And put on a geared box. Mount. Airbox. Front exhaust pipe. Need 2 of those. Don't have the starter V8. Got it. And a front exhaust pipe. And then we grab the drive shaft. That's it. She is done. Check the car status. You're done and done. Simple as that. And it's a $47,000 job. Boom. Leveled up. Now we did have some leftovers parts from our previous job, so we're going to sell all parts below, let's say, 83%. So just get rid of all the old parts. And we had some cases that we have yet to open. So I saved up some. So we'll do 1 and 2. And we got a bonus case on number 2. So I'm going to go to 3 and 4. Bonus case. We're going to go to 5 and 1. Bonus case. See this pattern? If you can find it, it works pretty good. It doesn't work all the time, but man, when you get a string of these going, you can get a lot of bonus cases. It's going to be 1 and 2 again. I've done this pattern, I don't know how many times, and it tends to work. If you find a case and you just keep moving 2 over, it seems to work. Now this is 5 and 1. I'll see if this is right or if we're... Ah, I missed. Oh, it was 5 and 2 that time. Okay, so I'm going to go to 3 and 4. Actually, that was a misclick, so interesting. There's 4. So 5 and 1. How many cases have we strung together here? 5 and 1. Go 2 and 3. 3. 4. 5 be the case? Nope. Probably in 1. So if it was probably in 1, it'll probably be in 3. Let's do 3 and 4 next time. Nope. 4. Alright, so we lost it. But man, we had a good string going. Let's go 5 and 2. Make it... We got 4 barn maps, some extra money, and that was a sweet pile of cases right there. So this will be the end for this guide video. We have a 56 Salem 1500 XL, which is a Ford a 56 Ford F100, which is a cool ass truck. So that'll be the next car that we'll do in the next guide video, which I believe will be story car 29. So 2 more story cars to go. Lucas, Isaac, Parker, hope you like this one. I will see you in the next.